international what? Level. So national football boys final will be in Lira Town College. We shall be hosted by Lira Town College. That is for accommodation for the boys, but we shall use venues in the entire Lira city. We shall also be soon going for another inspection, but the first inspection showed that they have the potential of hosting the games, and we are sure they will host them. But in case they fail, we also have standby hosts. And the standby hosts are very ready to take on the games in case we are not satisfied with the host. Now, when it comes to ball games too, they will take place in Sacred Heart Secondary School, Guru. And here, we have 23 different sports categories that will be played in Sacred Heart, Guru, in ball games too, in July this year. And also among these games, we have athletics, and of course, we have also under 15 boys, CAF, under 15 boys, and also under 17 basketball, football for boys, and so on and so on. Now, International School Sports Federation. You know, we are members. Uganda Secondary School Sports Association are members of FIASA. They are members of Africa School Sports. We are also members of International School Sports. And this year, we have planned to participate in 6 different sports categories at world level. We shall participate in handball championship that will take place in North Macedonia. We shall also participate in ISF World Schools Basketball that will take place in Serbia. We shall also take part in a volleyball championship that will take place in PR, China. We shall also take part in ISF Football World Cup from October 17th up to October 26th that will take place in China. And then ISF World Schools Golf Championship that will take place in Morocco. This one will be for both under 15 and under 18, while the ones up will be for under 18. We shall also take part in the gymnasiad that will take place. I think now they have confirmed which country in South America. And this one will take place, will be for under 18. We shall inform you of the city very soon. Now, Federation of East Africa, we have finished the inspection, and the competition will take place in August. Now, the district and zonal calendar program is as follows. The zone will hold the meetings between 16th and 20th February to start off the games. A district hosts meetings between 17th and 22nd. Submission of schedules will be by 23rd of February. Zonal qualifiers will start from March. Will take place between March and up to April. And the national championship will be May 2026. Now, I'm glad to inform you about the athletics reform. One of our main sports in this country is athletics. And we noted that as far as schools are concerned, the sport is going down, and we have introduced a system whereby in all zones, each zone will have 2 meets per term. We shall have zonal competition, zonal meets twice a term. The first one will be in February, and the second one will be in March. And at the end, during first term holiday, each zone of the 19th zone will have a training camp. Now, we shall have these qualifiers in May, and zonal qualifiers for the champion in June. These are the first one, the district qualifiers for the zonal prior to the zone, and the second category is the zonal qualifiers and the qualifier for the qualifiers prior to national. Then We shall have a national training camp for Fiasa Games in July. And then, of course, ISF competition and Gymnasiad 2026, we shall compete. And of course, we shall have another camp for that one. Now, inspection of the host schools is as follows. I'm sure all of you have the paper. We have distributed it. I hope everybody has this. I'm just clarifying so that if you have it, it will be easier for you to follow. And inspections as follows, as you see them there. Then we go to by-elections. Now, you know, the teachers, we had elections in 2022 for district and for zones. Now, for someone to serve for the zone, he must be serving in that zone. If you are a teacher and you are transferred, you can no longer serve on the executive of that district, nor can you serve on the executive of that zone. When you retire, then that means you are no longer serving, so you can no longer serve. So because of that, we have discovered that there are very many gaps on the executives of some zones and also very many districts. And I can assure you, we have got our returning officer will run elections for replacement, as you can see up there. By election, that's number 9. By 5th February, we had submissions from districts. Second, release of vacant positions, nomination of candidates by 10th Feb. District elections will be between 14th Feb, which is very soon. Nominations for zones between 16th and 17th, and district elections will be on 19th Feb. Release of elected candidates will be by 19th of Feb, so that they can help us run elections this year. Stakeholder engagements, we always make it a point to meet with stakeholders, and we shall this year, we shall meet with Athletics Federation, Basketball Federation, Netball Federation, Golf, Cricket, Futsal, Hockey, Baseball, Softball, Baseball, Kabaddi, Coco, and Pickball. You know, this by the law of Uganda, they are the ones mandated to. There are many things which are reserved for these federations, which are not our reserve. And for that reason, we meet with them to make sure that we do the things according to their laws and also according to ours, so that we are on the same page. And we shall be meeting them between 1st and 10th of Feb. Actually, the meetings have already started. Some have already taken place. A few. USSSA zonal meetings will be between the 9th and 13th of Feb, and USSSA zonal meeting between 16th and 20th. Zonal chairpersons and secretaries meeting will be on 21st Feb, and this time around will be online, because you know with technology now we are number 1. Reforms and institutional changes. Here every year we go through our rules. We have gone through them and we have submitted to the ministry, and I can inform you of the many things that are going to change this year. The undergoing update, as I've already told you. Now this year, we have proposed to the ministry that we shall run 3 different categories. We shall run under 15, we shall run under 17, and we shall also run under 20. As you know, for football, because of the CAF competitions, we have been running under 15, and when it comes to under 16, we'll be having problems. But this time around, we have introduced under 17, then under what? Under 15. Now, under 15 will be strictly for ages of 13, 14, and 15, in line with CAF regulations. That is for football. Even for other games where we shall introduce them, we shall do the same. As you know, there are some kids who are in secondary when they are 13 years of what? of age. Much as the law stipulates that for us second we run competitions from the age of 14, there is that gray matter, and we shall we need the guidance of the ministry to see how we run it. Then under 17 will be for those of age 15, age 16, and age what? 17. Then under 20 will be 16, 17, 18, 19, and what? And 20. Although we have requested the ministry to make a clarification, because we have checked with the Act, and you know the Act, we cannot go beyond the Act. Our rules and regulations must be in line with the Sports Act. The Sports Act says that for secondary, USSSA will run competitions for students up to the age of what? 20. What does it mean? When you have 20 years and 1 day, are you still in that category? So we have requested for clarification because we want to be according to the what? We shall also give you the Act and you read it through yourselves. We are supposed to run competitions up to the age of 20 what? Age of 20. Now, if someone has 20 years and 3 days, is he still under us? No. Okay. So we have requested the ministry to guide us. Also, we have found something which is very good, I think. The law talks about underage participants in the competitions. As you know, when we talk of underage, you become of age in Uganda when you become 18 years of what? When you are 18 years, you are an adult. But the law goes on to say that if you are 16 years of age, you can play with the seniors. Like that means if you are 16 years of age, you can be even on the football national what? Team. If you are 16 years of age, you can play with those people who are 18 years of what? You can also play with those of 19 years of what? Of age. You can play with those of 20 years of age. But there are conditions which you must satisfy. One, your parent must grant you that what? And it goes on to say that if there is money to be won, then the parent must also be what? Involved. For example, if you are going to play and win money, then the parent must be, because we are not supposed to give these underage kids money, isn't it? So if you are going to win money, the parent must be involved. So what does that law imply? It implies that if you are below the age of 16, if you are below the age of what? Then you are under no circumstances should you play with the what? And we took this one to mean in contact what? There's contact sport where if you are a minor of 14 years of age and you are boxing with someone who is 19 or 20, you can be damaged, isn't it? So the law prohibits that. So what does it mean? It means that if you have a kid in senior 1, in senior 2, however good this child is, if he is below the age of 16, according to the Sports Act, this kid will not play for the school, for the senior school what? Team. Because the senior school team has children of 18 years and those of 19 what? 19 years. And in a way, this one, we have welcomed it as USSSA. It has solved for us a very big what? Problem. Last year, we had a problem with schools, especially private schools, even government schools actually. We had some government schools. They go there, they get a boy who is 20 years of what? of age. They take him back to P what? P7. They forge his age. They cut his age. They say he's now 12 years of what? Of age. And this kid comes to secondary school. In senior one, he's 13 years of what? Of age. You look at the boy, he looks old. But for them, they say he's 13 years of what? Of age. We don't have an age meter. Now, the boy prays, he's 20 years of age, but he's praying for the school team, where we have under what? And even when you see this boy, the boy is even praying like a senior. But when you bring the birth certificate, the boy has a birth certificate. You ask for P7 pass slip, the P7 pass slip is indicating that the boy is 13 years of what? And then we have been having a problem how to remove them. Some of them you find they have beards, then they bring books showing. Someone can have a beard at 11 years of what? Of age. But now it has solved our problem. If you forge someone and you say he's 13 years of age, then you have to wait until he's 16 years of what? For you to use him for your senior what? So all those schools which have kids, however good they are, with the forged date of what? Unfortunately, they will not participate in our what? And I think in the future, those people who have been forging those ages, they will stop, isn't it? Because one of the reasons, and I will tell you, you know, I'm an instructor for football administration and management. Now, one of the reasons that we have identified why our players do not develop and become good to reach a certain level is because of lack of age category what? When you call for under 15, you run a championship, but in that championship, there are people of 20 years of what? Now, when you look for them 3 years in front, they are no longer playing because they are now too what? Too old. And when they pray, when you have a 20-year-old praying in the place of a 13-year-old, what happens? The 13-year-old will never get a chance to do what? To pray. We think that we want to thank for that law. As USSA, want to thank the Parliament of Uganda for that act. We also want to thank in a person, because we know the role of Engineer Moses Magugu. Engineer Moses Magugu was the mover, together with the Minister of Education, of that act. And we want to thank him for that very good law, because it is solving our problem. I know this year some schools will suffer. They have some players, very good players whom they cannot use, isn't it? So it is something, it is transitional. In the future, it will go. Now, the hosting of these games continue to be rotational across the country. Some people are asking me that why we continue to rotate the games across the what? But it is mandatory that where we take them, they must be having good facilities. As you know, as you know, our competitions are now on TV. We televise them. And since we televise them, this one is starting. Okay. We televise our games, and televise the games, they good surface. We are making good surface mandatory for our competition. if it is a turn for northern Uganda, for example, or central, and we find that in central there are no good facilities, we shall take those competitions back to the east, where we have been experiencing very good competition. I hope that one is very clear. But we shall rotate across the country. Now, for someone to participate in our games, we are insisting there has to be registration. Someone will have to be registered. There will be screening. There will be verification. There will be transfer. And then we have released transfer petition guidelines. We are embracing technology in the competitions and the financial management. For example, all our payments, we don't receive cash. It has to be paid in there on the account in the manner that we have established. And most importantly, I have been telling people in my manifesto, when I was becoming president and my executive, we underestimated ourselves. We underestimated ourselves. Our manifesto was, within 2 years, we had done everything, apart from having our own home, our own permanent part. Well, I'm glad to inform you that we are in the process of acquiring 18 acres of land, where we shall not only have our home, but we shall also have facilities for both competition and camping. And we are looking at having there about 16 football fields. This thing keeps going on. About 16 football fields, about 4 basketball, about having I think this thing is good, a running track, athletics track, and everything. And we shall have a capacity of hosting not less than 2,000 participants at any one time. We are in the last phase of getting the land, and the land is very well located. We are working on it together with our commissioner, and maybe I can inform you that this one will be in Mbarara City. We are getting 80 acres of land, and we shall use it for school sports. We shall have their offices and playing venues, hostel, and everything. Capacity building. One of the things we celebrate in the last 3 years as USSSA is capacity building programs, which we started in 2022. I would like to inform you that as we talk now, we have so far trained 12,499 students. Some of them are here. Capacity building products stand up here. Those who capacity building products stand up. You see, even you, I want you to stand up. Those are some of them. 12,400, sit down. 499 students. And in addition to that, we have also trained 4,057 teachers. And as we are having these ones, there are some people, like coaches and what have you, who are not students, they are not teachers. And those ones from the community, they are 392.